First thing I did in my project was take off the petrol tank and empty it. I did notice a lot of rust in there, and you'll see all this dirt now. Look at this. This is just from pouring out the petrol. I used the petrol to help light a fire. After that I filled the tank with white vinegar, and that overnight even more dirt came out. Gave it a nice power wash to get all the little bits out, and to stop it flash rusting, filled it with bicarbonate soda. It neutralizes the vinegar and dry it as fast as possible. After this, actually put a tiny little bit of oil in there and spread it all around. It just stops it rusting. You can see it's nice and shiny. And then I immediately filled it back up with premium petrol. You know, you don't want air or oxygen there. And my Celica's gone now. It rusted. The petrol tank is cleaned, and the airbox needs to clean as well. So this is the ZX12R. Look, it has a metal airbox, and it's built into the frame basically. So you can't just take it off. But here I took out the filters. They're aftermarket Piper Cross filters. Dirty as hell. In here, look, there's mold in there. Look at that. That's mold. Really, really dirty. So look at that. So dirty in there. Definitely needed a clean. It probably hasn't been cleaned in years. Look at the result. Wonderful. So we also just clean like all the little bits and pieces that we get out, and very gently clean these air filters. So you don't wring them. You kind of like squish them in nice hot soapy water, and it just gets rid of all the flies and crap. And oh yeah, forgive the mess, I'm renovating. Remember, with these reusable filters, you use filter oil, and that's what I got there. Some liquid moly filter oil, and they just go straight back in like that. Nice little tea break. Very required during doing all this work. So what's next? What do we do next? Aha, the block-off plates. So there's a clean air system on the Kawasaki here on the top of the engine, and it's so much crap. All these pipes, look at this, all this nonsense up here. All it does is it's a system which pumps fresh oxygen from the airbox into the exhaust ports. That's all it does. All it does is like burn unburnt fuel in the exhaust, but it gets in the way of tuning and stuff. And look at that. Look how much better it is when you install the block-off plates. You have to block up all the extra pipes and nipples which go from the airbox or the throttle bodies and stuff as well. So that's what these little pipes, this is what these little bits of tubing are for right here. It's actually not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. You just kind of have to figure out the correct place to put things. But yeah, big improvement. And now that I have an aftermarket exhaust on the bike, it doesn't pop and crackle when you roll off the throttle. And when it comes time to dyno tune, nothing's going to be in the way of getting a good map. Also, the bike has an evap system. It's because it's a Netherlands import. So we just follow this tube here. We follow this tube all the way, and we find that it actually just goes into the front of the throttle bodies. And you can just remove it all. You just rip all of it out, remove all of it. It's extra weight. It doesn't really do anything. Just feeds a little bit of like petrol vapors into the engine. Fuck that. Who cares about that crap? It's not enough where it's going to damage the environment. It's just bullshit. Get rid of it if you can. Look, it's just extra dead weight. Yeah, right there. You just plug that hole. And then you can reroute all the tubes going from the petrol tank. Like what I'm doing here. You can just reroute them straight down instead of like looping around and getting in the way of things, right? So yeah, now everything under there is done. I just put the petrol tank back on. Aha, the next thing I did was install this like aftermarket smoky like rear light. It actually has indicators as well, but they would be illegal here in the UK, so I just using it for the rear light only. I did have to drill a little bit of plastic out of the rear, whatever the hell you call this thing, just to fit it. But yeah, look, the finished job looks awesome, doesn't it? Look at that. Ooh, nice. The biggest job by far was the new exhaust. So that's what I'm doing here, putting penetrating oil into the headers so I can remove all the nuts. Removing all the nuts without snapping any of the studs. Definitely use penetrating oil, heat, go slowly. And by the way, I made a big mistake here. Look at the radiator. I thought I would get away with just moving it forward. Don't do that. Just drain all the coolant and remove the radiator completely before you mess around with the exhaust. But hey, I finally got it off. And I had to put a couple of new studs in there because they just came out. And it was time to install the new Black Widow exhaust. It's nice and shiny and it sounds real nice. Look at that. Pay attention to the orientation of the pipes that go into the collector. After a whole bunch of fiddling, make sure you put some exhaust paste on all the like the joints and stuff. Otherwise you get air leaks and it's just, you'll have to take it apart and do it again. Be generous with it, but it is messy as hell, so don't get it all over the place. But there we go. Look at that. It's alive. Aha. I also really don't like the seat on the ZX12R, like the stock seats, because they're quite old now, over 20 years old. They just need some life brought back into them. So I got this gel. You can find this online. This is quite cheap. And take off all the covers, cut out a whole bunch of the foam, and replace the foam that you cut out with gel. That's like the idea. And the idea is a lot easier than the reality, actually. This was such a pain in the ass, and it took so long. And I made a big mess everywhere. But, you know, perseverance, and you can get there. Once you put the sew-in foam on, I think that's what it's called, it starts to make more sense. And you just use spray adhesive to stick it down to the to the other foam and yeah, cut out any excess. Make it nice and smooth like this, and then you'll see the difference is quite large once it's all back together. You have to get a staple gun, and this was such a pain in the ass because the staples do not want to go in all the way. But hey, you have to use a bit of strength and perseverance here. You can get a professional staple gun, which will speed things up so much, but this is like the only job you'll ever use it for, so, you know, is it worth the money? Yeah, another thing I did notice was a lot of the metal parts started to oxidize on the bike, so I took them off, put them in this bath of degreaser, and after cleaning, look at the difference. Just black water there of all the grease, and look how shiny they are now. Ooh. So my idea was to color match them all with the bike, including the bolts, the mounting bolts that I spray right there. And look at that. Look at the finished product. Ooh, awesome. Also, I decided to refresh the coolant. So you need battery water and you need some OAT silicate-free coolant. So I drained the coolant here. And from the header area, the coolant actually goes right between all the stuff to the point where I think it was intentional. So once all the coolant's drained, I fill it up with battery water and then I run it all the way through, and then drain it again and then fill it up with the actual coolant. Nice and slow so you don't get air bubbles in, and then you have to burp it like this. Make sure you fill up the reserve tank, the expansion tank as well, to the line. And of course, change the engine oil. You always have to change the oil, guys, remember that. If you don't, your engine will die eventually. It was very black and stank. Really, really smelly oil, black oil. It's probably been in there for a few years, actually. It was a little bit of a struggle getting the filter off as well. It was quite tight. Made sure to ram it on as hard as possible. Just kidding. So I think it was exactly 2.8 liters of oil that I put into the bike. Perfectly matched up to the sight glass. And one of the last things I did, and one of the most important things I did, was upgrade the brake calipers, the whole braking system actually. Look, these brake calipers are from a Bandit 1200, a Mark 1. They're Nissin 4-pot calipers. They're lighter and easier to maintain than the stock Tokiko 6-pots. Basically, that's the main reason to put them on. There's also a bit of, like, you could feel what you're doing a little bit better as well. Just gives you a bit more feeling. And they look better, don't they? Look at that. They kind of like suit the bike's color too. I also bled all the brakes. Look, the brake fluid obviously hadn't been changed for quite a while as well. And when I bled the rear caliper, the brake fluid that came out was almost black. So it had been there for a while. The front then, so I installed the ZX10R 2004 master cylinder, and I needed new brake lines. So that's what these are here. AS3 brake lines, braided brake lines with customizable banjos. So here is 45 degrees, and then at the top up here I had a 90 degrees and a 15 degrees banjo. Those managed to fit onto the ZX10R master cylinder perfectly. And here we go, installing this little brake reservoir and bleeding the brakes at the front. This took quite a while because they were completely dry, of course. And a little bit of advice: after you bleed, tie it to the handlebar like this overnight. Leave it like that overnight. And here is the finished result out in the sun, rare, clear skies in Wales. But yeah, this. Oh my god, it's absolutely gleaming. And it's riding so nice now, guys. It's unbelievable. I've also put new K-Tech springs in the forks, new fork oil seals, everything, and brand new Battle Axe T33 tires on it. So it turns pretty decently. It holds the road nice and firmly now too. And I think she's just ready for the year, basically. Hopefully I won't have to do anything else. But yeah, if you want to watch my first ride on it, I'll link that now on the screen. Go ahead and click that, and of course subscribe, like the video, blah 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 blah. Until next time, catch you later.